Got up and I had another thought this morning. Yesterday, I was pointing out the fact that Alaska, the United States, Alaska, and Russia land is approximately 55 miles apart. The Bering Strait, that's the thing that's in between them and the ocean, the Bering Sea, where we get great seafood. Anyway, it's treacherous. The other thing I want you to think about this morning, or think about this today, I don't understand why people aren't seeing what's really going on. Now, we have more than we know, and I want to point out this. Think about this, okay? Why panic about things? You can't change anything, but here's let me get to the point. The point is, if Israel has a dome over them to protect them from incoming missiles and rockets and whatnot, you know, and the United States has the most sophisticated weaponry in the world, okay? Do you not think the United States doesn't have that too? Okay? We, and, Trump's been talking about, hold on, that noise, that backup noise is irritating. Come on, guy, get it backed up. Let's go. Let's go. Um, Jeez, that's a very irritating noise. Sorry. Okay, he's done. Okay, so the United States is the most sophisticated military in the world. Hold on. So we have to have that dome, that protection against the incoming that may come this way to protect the United States. If Israel has it, we've got it too. Don't believe the hype. I'm telling you. And if put that together with Alaska and Russia only being 55 miles apart, and Russia being 60 miles off the coast of Florida around Cuba with the warships, and Russia and Putin get along. I mean, let me retract that. If Putin and Trump get along, do you not think that Russia is actually protecting the United States? Y'all need to wake up and think about these things, okay? Good morning, proud mixed child. I'm glad you came in. It makes it so much easier for me to speak my mind. Now, I don't dwell on things to think about. I woke up with this thought, and it makes sense to me. If the United States is the most sophisticated military in the world, and Israel has a protective dome against incoming missiles or whatnot, the United States has to already have that. I thought about it. If and the Intel board says that we have more than we know. I think critically always, but don't spend too much time thinking. I don't either. It just literally is there when I wake up in the morning. Among a lot of other things, thoughts that come to my mind and make sense. And just to speak about my cats, I have two cats that are still around over there. I went over there yesterday, and I've been stressing a little bit about them and abandoning them. But I clap my hands, I call them, I wait a few minutes, those two come out of the woods. And yesterday, my brother in law is like, how much longer are you going to be coming over here? Because I've rented the place out and they don't need you coming over here and feeding the cats. And I'm like, okay. I said, how about I feed them on my mom's back porch? He said, that'll be fine. So I walked up there, clapped my hands. The kitties were a little hesitant because they don't like anybody they don't know. And they came up there and I showed them the water and the food. So I'm rested assured on that now. Yes, love the cats. Now all of them are gone, except my sisters too. They've been there for 15 plus years. Really, they're just really old. I can't believe that the dogs haven't gotten them. Apparently, their survival skills are excellent. And both of them have been injured in such a way that they should have died. But I gave them antibiotics, I attended their wounds, excuse me, and they survived. Now, these other twos, I call her Sissy Kitty. She's a muted calico. I've got $200 at the minimum in her as far as getting her fixed. Excuse me. And was pregnant at one time, her and her sister. And I hate to say it, and I've asked for forgiveness from our higher power. Terminated her and her sister's pregnancies. Now, these other five that got pregnant, four, because I found out one of them is a male, and he's still around with Sissy. So, as soon as my place is fixed up and completed, my son's like, "Oh, well, you'll be out of there, out of my other son's house by December." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's months from now. Months I'm gonna be here, just be here." But I don't like being in someone else's space. Hold on. With that said, here I am. So all I can do is exist right now and do the best I can, just to be real. And so I'm looking for my lighter. There it is. So basically, we don't need to stress about these things in the world that we cannot change. Now, I'm not worried about no incoming missile and the nuclear threat. Y'all got to think about this. That disarm nuclear, all that stuff was done a long time ago. I don't think we're going to have a nuclear war. That's just propaganda. That is fear mongering from the left, from the elite. They wish they could destroy the world, but they are systematically destroying themselves. Yeah, enjoy the solitude and scenery. Yeah, I completely do that. Yes, absolutely. Uh, there's no reason to fear. When I look around every day, and the fact that I hear a an airplane flying over right now. Hartsfield is only less than 50 miles away, which, putting 50 miles in perspective, that's how close Russia is to the United States by Alaska. Like, from where I'm standing to Hartsfield International, that's how close Russia is to us. And that's how close they are on our southern east, southeast border of Florida, right down there. So, think about that. Think about that. Now, the weather has always been bad, but we haven't always had the internet. So, I was thinking about when I was a child, how where I lived, it always flooded every time it rained real bad because I lived right off the Chesapeake Bay and I lived on the peninsula and we were only 4 feet above sea level. So, uh, the flooding was then, the hot summers. Oh my God, it was so hot. Is no different than now. Now, now, when you point something out to somebody, they're going to notice it more, and that goes along with this heat wave. We've had heat waves before. When I was a child, we had heat waves. We survived. I'm still here. No reason to panic. No reason to uh, get bent out of shape about these things, y'all. Do not stress. Do not feed into the fear. Now I'll tell you what real fear is. I'm fearful of spiders. I'm trying to get over that, but I think that's where did that come from? Why am I so fearful of them? Was something, is that just a natural instinct that we have inside of us that make us fear things that could harm us? You know, that must be what that is. I don't know. This tree is like right here. And anyway, So I just wanted to speak on a few things this morning that don't fear the reaper. I mean, we all got to meet him one day, so to speak. The reaper, really reap what you sow. So let me put this down for a second. So if we're gonna reap what we sow, be careful what you're reaping, man. Just be careful because I've already reaped what I sowed, and I wasn't sowing anything bad. So I guess when you try to do good, things are gonna try to take you down. Harvesting potatoes and coffee beans. Listening, I wished I was harvesting some potatoes and coffee beans. The coffee beans are good for aroma if you can't process them. And the potatoes are, you can make a meal out of potatoes. You can eat them raw. They're a root. They're good for you. So let's think about that for a while. And talking about grounding, they talk about us being, like if you go out during a lightning storm, you're more than likely going to be a ground for the lightning. That's why you can't go out in the lightning. That's why you're not supposed to go out in a thunderstorm because you are a ground. The lightning can hit you in your head and your feet are on the ground, so you're grounded. So think about when there's no thunderstorm around and you go stand on the ground with your feet, you are grounded. And y'all need to look up that about what standing on the ground with no rubber sole shoes on, just barefoot, how it just improves your blood flow and everything. And they can show you right under a microscope live on YouTube. I saw it yesterday. So think about going down and go out and go stand out for as long as you can stand it and put your feet on the ground. You know, people wearing those what do they call those gator shoes? I can't remember what they're called right now. But they keep you from being grounded. We need to stay grounded. You need to do that regularly. We have more than we know, and people do not realize. Pay attention, wake up, and yeah, Crocs. I said alligators, alligator shoes, Crocs. Yeah, I mean they keep you. They are a barrier between you and the earth, where we are all connected to Mother Nature, and people do not want to engage in the reality that things are have been built against us, put against us, because we are God's creation. We are made in His image. We have the insight and everything that was instilled within us, which is tuition, intuition. Follow your gut instinct, your intuition, your God given ability to use your discernment, right, and navigate this thing that all these things that have been made against us. So I just trying to wake up and be on the positive side, and that is what I'm doing today. Now today I've got to go get in the car and I've got to go to either Kroger or Publix, and I'm gonna go try to do the BOGO, buy one get one, where you spend $80 and you save $80, which is $160. And you're not really BOGO at the now that the prices are so high. You're not really buying one get one free at all. You're buying one and getting another one for the same price. That's right now, but those prices are going to come down too. Hold on. So yeah, let's not panic. Let's come on. We're gonna struggle for a little while, but the struggle is real, and you got to really understand what's going on and wake up. If you're not awake, wake the hell up and be real about this. Now, you think about Russia is no threat. We're 55 miles connected from them, right? Up there in the northwest. And then the southeast where they've got Russian ships is 60 miles. And I'm 50 miles from Hartsfield International. That's not very far. So why panic now? Really? I mean, come on. They could have done us in a long time ago if they really wanted to, but they can't, so they won't. Put it like that. Things will get worse before they get better. Yes. And in life, you have to go through hell to get to heaven. And they say also, Proud Mixed Child, that you have to die before you can actually live, which means drop these body bags and your spirit is free, right? Think about that. And I finally got to talk to April Showers yesterday, and we talked for about an hour, over an hour. We always do. And think about this. Uh, oh, I lost my train of thought when I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, the things that I'm hearing about on the news is I'm not seeing it anywhere around me. That doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means that if I didn't have a TV or a phone, I would not know what's going on the world stage, period. I just would not know. So you might want to disconnect if you're getting too far stressed out about all these things that they're feeding on the internet and all this stuff. And I can't understand for the life of me what people are getting out of fear mongering. That's some kind of mind control thing. Free your mind, the rest will follow. And I was also looking into the Choctaw Indians, Proud Mixed Child. I was looking up the background on that, and I'm not too proud of some of the things that the Choctaws did, but the Choctaw have been here for over 1,000 years. Smart devices and control, that's right. And now they're having a meeting in D.C. Soon about the next pandemic, which is they're saying the bird flu. Well, we already have. I don't want to get banned off of. I don't want this to get taken down. So we already have meds to uh, help us if that happens. But also, they have never had a case, and nobody's ever died here in the United States from the bird flu. And I had chickens, and they were sick and dying, and I never got sick and died. I'm still here, right? And that thing about the feed, when they were saying the feed was making their chickens stop having eggs. No, there was something going on in nature, y'all. My chickens didn't stop having eggs. So, and I was feeding them that feed. So apparently, if other people were saying, "Oh, the feed is causing the chickens, don't buy this feed because, and feed it to your chickens because they've put something in it to make your chickens stop having eggs," when in reality there was something going on in nature. Y'all, my chickens were fine. I'm just telling you. So I had to debunk that right away. So the chicken feed that was supposedly making your chickens stop having eggs, no, The reality is my chickens didn't stop having eggs, and I was feeding them that feed. So I have to say, honestly, that it wasn't the feed. That was fear mongering. You cannot believe everything you hear. I can attest and tell the truth and be a witness to so many things that y'all would think I'm crazy and making shit up. But I promise you, I can only tell you the reality of things that I'm experiencing. Like, we don't want to talk about the C-19. I got that video taken down when I started telling my story of what happened to me at the hospital in the ER. Let me tell you, I got up, I walked out of there. I told them, sign me out. I'm leaving. And if you don't let me leave, my son's going to be out front in about 5 minutes, and he's going to be coming to get me. And you better let me go. Oh, I was so sick, y'all. But hey, I got over it. My son was living in the same house with me 24/7, except when he went to work. He didn't get sick. Oh, about 4 months later, yeah, he got sick. But so it wasn't as contagious as they were saying. We already know they're coming out with the truth on that crap. I could go on and on and on about the bullshit that people are believing. That might be their truth, but it's not my truth. That might be their reality, but it's not my reality, you see. And I discovered, I thought about the fact that when my mom passed the day after Mother's Day, you know, a person with dementia is not supposed to have anesthesia because the risk is that it will magnify. When they wake up, they'll have what they call delirium. So my mother ended up having the delirium. Oh, it was horrible. But nobody went up there. I wanted to ride in the ambulance to go up there and be with her before the surgery. But nobody, I can't drive in Atlanta at night. I just can't. Simple. And nobody else in the family went up there and they did her surgery, not being aware of her history of her being a hemophilia. She bled out during surgery, and they had to keep her under a little longer, and she ended up with delirium, and it magnified the dementia. So oh, it was horrible, y'all. But the reality is, we dropped the ball, and I say all of us, all of my siblings, we all dropped the ball on Mama. We should have all been there. Somebody should have been able there, up there, giving her history. Even the papers say that she came from Emory when she was actually at Grady. She came from Grady Hospital, you know. But anyway, the reality is, Mama's not suffering no more, and I will see her again. And I told her that. I said, Mom, I'm following the leader. Where you go, I'm going to go too. So, just trying to speak that peace to her. Anyway, I've spoke enough for this morning. That's just my thoughts for this morning. Maybe I should just get up in the mornings and speak whatever I wake up with in my mind. And if people think I'm crazy, I don't give a damn what people think. You can't control what people think anyway, right? I mean, look at me. Listen to me, what I'm saying. I, you can't control what I think. I can't even control what I think. I can guard my mind of what I put into it, what I feed into it. Like, I do not watch these murder mysteries and all this stuff. Like last night, the last thing I saw was this guy was going through the woods and they were finding body parts. I'm like, I do not want to think about this before I go to bed, and I turned it off. Proud Mixed Child says the truth spoken is so impactful when it's stated. It'll cause people to flip on you like the two faces of a coin. Yes, two faces of to every coin. Face, side, and deal. This is something to remember. Yeah, that's factual. That's Look. Just because I'm in agreement, don't mean we just. And if we disagree, I'm going to tell you that too. But I don't disagree with you on that. There's two sides. That actually, I heard yesterday somebody said there's three sides to every story. I was talking to a DFACS social worker on the phone for over an hour about a situation that's going on in my life, not involving me, but I was a witness to something. And you best believe, I don't care if my sons are grown. Don't fuck with them. Period. Because there's repercussions for what you do against mine. If my sons are doing something wrong, I'm gonna be the first one to tell them, and they ain't gonna like it too much. And who cares? It's my thoughts. It's my feelings. If I'm in their life and they love me and they want me in it, and they're doing something wrong, and I acknowledge it to them, I bring it up to them. and they don't like it, stay away from me. So I guess, our relationship would be severed at that point. But that's the way it is. The truth. That's the way it is. If one refuses clemency, you offer. If one refuses clemency, you offer, then it's primarily because they know what's offered was purely truthful. That's right. That's actual fact too. Now, I don't want to go off on a tangent about some things that I've actually experienced and been through. Y'all, I could tell y'all some shit that would turn you. You would just be like, "Oh my god, oh my god." I would like to tell you some stories about me being a villain, but you know, I can't really think of too many stories about that. I've not always been right about everything, but I ain't always been wrong either. Period. So, with that said, I think I'm gonna end this live. And everybody that came in and sitting on the beach, I don't like bushes because I don't like spiders. So I say, everybody who's sitting on the beach, listening, open your mind and think about Russia has always been less than 55 miles away from us through Alaska and Russia, the Bering Straits, as Proud Mixed Child pointed out yesterday. And Russia is also 50 miles, 60 miles off the coast of Florida. They are no threat. They are protecting us because we are vulnerable right now while we dismantle our evil Kabbalah government, right? We are vulnerable. And I heard that's another story about China. They have shut down their, what is that? The Reserve, Federal Reserve, their reserve. What the hell is the Federal Reserve doing in China anyway? Ha, that's another story. Wake up and think about that for a little while. Okay? Wake up and think about these things. You have more than you know. You need to deep think and think about these things, y'all. Because we have more than we know. You just got to pay attention, wake up, smell the coffee beans. Like Proud Mixed Child. I don't know. Stay safe and blessed and take care of yourself. Absolutely. Have a good, lucid morning. Yes, it's been lucid. It has been lucid for sure. With that, I'm going to say, y'all have a good day. I might come back on live this afternoon. I might do a live going down the road. I've got to buy one of those things that you put your phone on while you're driving. But I don't know how the reception will be as far as the connection. So, anyway, y'all, peace out. Love y'all.